All right, welcome to the Saturday Man Show. I'm so excited today. Our special guest, he's a celebrity to me and to a lot of people in Polk County and surrounding areas. Incredible singer, songwriter, musician, and a dear friend, Richie Owens. Welcome to the show. How you doing, Richie?
Great, Brent. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. I tell you what, when I came here a couple years ago, Richie, of course, I'm thrilled. And when I tell people that I was going to interview you, they're excited too, and for good reason. I first came here a couple years ago and heard you playing and singing at Spinelli's, and got to play there a few times after that. But man, I thought, this guy is incredible. The circles that I ran in Dallas and Fort Worth, and of course Tulsa and Oklahoma, where I'm from, and other parts where we've been promoting these big concerts and stuff. I thought, gosh, there's not an area that I travel to that wouldn't go crazy about the talent of Richie Owens. But you're not only a well-loved musician, but you're a well-loved person too. People love you around here, man.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, I'm glad too. And since then, we've become some good bros and have played together. We've actually have a benefit coming up. We'll talk to him more about. But I tell you what, getting right into the show, Richie, man, how long have you been around here?
Basically my whole life.
Yeah.
I wasn't born here, but that's about it.
And of course, you're always playing somewhere.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, and I'm glad to hear that too. And I love when Vintage Worship is a group that we all, individual artists come together and do events for the community and such. It's so much fun watching you and hearing you and how you connect with people. But man, you're able to do any type of venue, Richie. I mean, I've seen you play in a restaurant, then you're able to play for big events, with your full band.
Right.
Yeah, man. Now I'll tell you what. Tell me about yourself. For those that don't know the background about you and about your story, just give some background.
Well, basically, music has been all I wanted to do my whole life. I can tell you that. And most of my family can tell you stories about, watching me dance with the record player and so forth. My aunt and my cousin taught me my first 3 chords when I was about 15. I've been trying to play ever since.
Wow. Well, you're doing more than trying, man. Yeah, and so when did you really get serious about music? How old were you?
I was probably 18 when I first bought my first guitar with my first paycheck from my first. Up until then, I've been playing a bar at acoustic that belonged to my cousin Gary.
Oh, okay.
And played. I didn't really get into a band. I just kind of a garage thing. Was the first experience I had, and then I got involved with a band called Midnight Highway.
Midnight Highway. That's cool.
Yeah, that's from a Southern Pacific song, and there was members of the Doobie Brothers that were involved with Southern Pacific. We were probably the biggest band in the area at that time, which was the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. Played with some great musicians, Dale Myers, Michael Myers, Scott Kelton, Butch Cecil, James Gregg, Tim Stewart, him living out. I can't remember everybody, but I think that's most everybody. That was really where I, learned to really play, was from following learning cover songs and just following other people's licks, learning them. And rewind.
Yeah.
And it's that was just a I don't know. I never really had lessons other than people showing me a few things. Like I said,
I think it was one of the best ways to learn.
Yeah, it is one of the best ways to learn. And some of those people were local musicians like Junior Long, Jerry Emery. Those were 2 of the guys that I recall that actually showed me things, and they were working musicians as far as this area has working musicians at the time.
Yeah,
and I've played in clubs and churches, restaurants, just anywhere
you can,
anywhere I can.
And that's the name of the game, man.
Yeah.
I mean, a true musician where it's more than just a phase or more than just a business. Man, they play everywhere they can.
Right.
And one of the things many things I appreciate about you, Richie, is you're able to play any type of venue and adapt to that. And when you do a cover song, it doesn't sound like a cover song. You make it yours, and that's the difference between an artist and someone that just sings songs and plays. If you get my drift, is you make it yours and people love it. And I tell you what, we're going to have some live music right here in the studios.
Really?
at KENA. Yeah, you're holding a guitar. Imagine that.
Oh, wow.
All right. Yeah, man. So I tell you what, without any further ado, Richie Owens, what's the first song you're going to play for us today on the Saturday Man Show?
First song I'm going to play is one of my latest. It's called Air, and
Air.
It's a very romantic song.
Yeah.
And I've learned from my travels to Nashville and living in Nashville, and that's the best commercial market you get.
Yeah.
Is love songs.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. Right.
All right, so this is Richie Owens with Air.
If I could bottle your sparkle, I'd be a millionaire. If I could paint the work of art I see with the moonlight on your hair. If I could stay in this moment, I'd never want to leave. If I could choose my last breath, baby, I'd choose the air that you breathe. And every time you flash that pretty smile, I feel my heart beat. It doesn't matter if you're glad or you're sad or you're mad, you still look sweet. If I could give you a reason strong enough to believe, I would spend the rest of my days floating on the air that you breathe. I don't want a different woman every night. I want one sweet lover who can make it alright. Playing with your heart is not what I want to do, and I wouldn't bother asking if I couldn't be true.
Yeah.
If I could see you in a long white gown, standing next to me. If I could only take your sweet hand and slide on a little rain. If I could give you my whole life to the last falling leaf, I would float all the way to heaven on the air that you breathe.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Thank you.
I love it, man. That's a whole song.
That's the whole song.
Oh, I love it. That's a hit, dude.
Well, thank you.
I tell you what. I mean, I've been writing songs and recording for a long time, and man, you know a good hook when you hear it. And man, that's not only great words and great. You know, one of the signs of a great song is the lyrics can stand on their own,
Right.
the music can stand on its own, and then the execution, whether it's of someone singing it,
Right.
that can stand on its own. But man, you're doing all three, Richie.
Thank you.
That song Air, great song, great music, great words, great performance of it, especially here right in front of a microphone at KENA 104. Oh, man. Now, again, you know, as you listen to the show, you can go to SaturdayMorningShow.com. That's www.SaturdayMorningShow.com. And you can see the guests that we have on these shows, links to their websites, and ways to get in touch with them. Now, Richie, you and I know as veteran musicians, and you know, there's nothing better for an establishment than to have live music.
Absolutely.
And we're looking forward to seeing the live music scene in Polk County only skyrocket. You know, I want everyone to know where you're playing because of who you are and because of your incredible talent. Man, I can't wait for you to record that. That's awesome. You just did.
We just did.
You just did. Oh, man, what a great live performance. Good. Now, I'll tell you what, was there a certain someone, you know, that was in your mind when you wrote that song?
Oh, you know, there's always a certain someone behind just about every song.
Oh, my gosh.
But, you know.
I love it.
I'm not mentioning any names.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Single ladies, his phone number is. Now, on a serious note, Richie, what is a way to get in touch with you, to book you?
Well, the easiest way is Facebook, and you can also find some of my information at ReverbNation.com/Richie Owens, 6 Mile Creek, no and.
All right.
And that's one of the bands that I have been playing with in various forms. A lot of different people from the area involved with that one.
Too cool.
And that's pretty much it.
You know, I definitely want to invite people to, you know, to go to SaturdayManShow.com, SaturdayManShow.com. They're going to see you on there. I want you to be on that side where people can click and have links to these places you're talking about. Reverb Nation, of course, Facebook. Richie, man, you also do awesome gospel music too, and we won't talk a lot about that today. Although January 16th, Friday night at Bethel Christian School in Mena, we are going to do an event. We're going to do a benefit. There was a lady in town who lost her husband to cancer, and that's something that's kind of close to me. My father died of cancer, and that impacted my life when I was 10 years old. And had it not been for music, my life would have been a lot different. But a precious lady in town, her name is Melanie Lewis, and she has two kids, two children, one of them almost grown. But we're going to just raise some money. 100% of that's going to go to that precious family who's had a loss. And Richie, when we have certain gifts to share, music, speaking, whatever, even a service, you know what? A community that takes care of each other. Absolutely. That's what it's all about. I'm not from here. I'll never be from here, but I love the people here. But you're from here, Richie.
Right.
And my co-pilot, Andy Philpott, you'll hear him on some more shows. He's from here too, but I'm so excited about you and your music. Come out Friday night to Bethel Christian School. Bethel Christian School is a good alternative too for education and back to the roots of our country and good godly teaching. So be sure and check out Bethel Christian School if you have kids that you want to get them in school, and as an alternative, to the great schools we have around here. Richie, I tell you what, man, what's another song you got?
Okay, well, this one was, I was making a Christmas present for someone that I was playing music with about, 10 years ago, almost, and I just got to thinking about my dad, and how he used to make everything,
right,
and this was actually
9 years ago,
New Year's Day, so it's like it was this time of year.
All right.
And this is called Two Hands. And
Two Hands.
It's been I've been polishing it for a long time now. Because I try to get stuff in front of people in Nashville who can tell me what I need to do with it. Because ultimately, hopefully, you want a good song to be on the radio, you can always be the artist.
Right.
So,
we don't mind when you are, man, because you've got fantastic songs. Here's Richie Owens with Two Hands.
I watched my daddy build things as I was growing up. He would be up all night Christmas Eve. Even when times were tough, when he'd find wood and paint and stuff, there were always gifts under the tree. Those two hands never made a lot of money, but they've made things that money just can't buy. A world that didn't shake, filled with love no one could fake. Those two hands held on to 5 kids and 1 wife. Now I have been known to forget much I've lived and learned, but yet the day we met, those memories fill my head. Boil it down to just one thing, it's all about the girl to wear your ring. 2 sweet hands to hold till one last prayer's been said. Now these 2 hands have done their share of damage. They fold each night and pray about it too. One promise I will make, and to the grave I swear I'll take. These 2 hands will be holding on to you. Waiting right outside the front door. Our places to go and things to try. But if I never see all the wonders of this world, I have known some in my life. These 2 hands may never make $1 million, and there's at least that many things they'll never do. One promise I will make, and to the grave I swear I'll take. These two hands will be holding on to you. These two hands will be holding on to you.
Wow. Oh man, Richie, that's an awesome song.
Well, thank you.
I've got to say, I mean, I've had the pleasure of promoting, some of the biggest names in the music industry. I tell you what, that's a song of songs. That's a masterfully written song. You're very, very gifted, man.
Well,
Yeah, yeah.
I
Now,
appreciate
what
that.
style would you categorize your music?
Whew, that's been part of my problem for 30 years.
Me too.
I have done everything that I've been able to do in this town, and I still do a little bit of everything I've done in this town. So.
Oh, well, hey, be encouraged. In 1991, Word Records said, "You're too versatile, Brant."
Oh yeah.
I thought that was a good thing, man. I thought
Right.
versatility was a good thing.
Yeah.
Well, but you know what? It is in this day and age with the changes in the music industry. I admire you for wanting to get the attention of people. I mean, get the opinion of people, I should
Right,
say.
yeah.
You already have their attention, but to get the opinion of people in Nashville. But I tell you what, Richie, you're already there. You really, really are. I mean, just an incredible songwriter and musician and singer, man. I love it. Fantastic. And every time you have a new song, I want people to hear it on The Man Show. Again, go to www.saturdaymanshow.com, and you'll be able to see some links and stuff with Richie Owens. And I'll tell you, do you have some gigs coming up with some bands?
I actually haven't booked anything into this new year.
You've been enjoying some time off.
Absolutely, yeah. Because
Good.
Hitting
And
it
you
every
need
weekend.
that.
Yeah.
You need to recharge those batteries, and that's the time that you write songs.
Right.
Some people out there you want to get involved in songwriting and singing and such. And I don't know about you, Richie, but it's just hard to sit down and just I'm going to write a song.
There's got to be a spark.
It's got to be a spark. It's got to hit you. Sometimes that hits you between the eyes when a tragedy happens.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it hits you at 3:00 in the morning where you can't
Right.
sleep. Sometimes you come out of your sleep. Sometimes you write songs in dreams. You ever written a song in a dream?
I got up and wrote a song within 15 minutes of
Yeah.
waking about 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had a bad. I've written songs in dreams, but I had a bad experience one time. You hear about it? I was hearing this cool lick in my head, piano song, and I wake up and, man, this is going to be a hit. Turns out it was a hit. It was a Lionel Richie song called "Oh No." It was a hit. It just wasn't my hit,
Yeah, right.
But yeah, and of course, you know what it's like to produce. I know what it's like to produce in the studio, and a good producer doesn't capture music, captures a moment.
Right.
And I know that you've got a band and other bands. I know that you're playing with Vintage Worship, too. We're very honored to have you. But you know what, Richie, man, I could just listen to just you and a guitar. I'd buy an album of that.
Well, thank you.
Just unplugged, Richie Owens, man. And how many of you would do that? We want your feedback, too. And we're having a great time. As a matter of fact, I'd like to see you to do an unplugged album, just you and your acoustics. Would you do that sometime?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, buddy. I'd be first in line to buy that. I really, really would. Well, awesome. Again, you can see Richie Owens in January 16th, Friday night, playing with Vintage Worship for the benefit for the family that lost a husband to cancer. We're just going to raise some money for that family. We're going to do a lot of stuff kind of like that. That's the kind of things we can get behind. People appreciate that.
Absolutely.
But, there's performers that are performers, and then there are people that perform that have a heart, and that's you. That's you. And people around you, man, they love you so much. It's hard to find someone in Polk County or in surrounding areas that doesn't know about Richie Owens. But I tell you what, we want to know everything you're doing, and when you have a new song and when you have a gig, we want to know. Now, have you got another song for us?
I do.
Yeah, I see the Rolodex spinning there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
This is just one I wrote a couple years ago, and it's a little bit darker. It's
That's all right.
kind of a lost. Sometimes things don't work out with you and somebody, and you don't just forget about them. And so this is called "In Your Dreams."
All right.
You know what I'm feeling. You know what you do. You know what I'm seeing. and those sweet eyes of blue. I don't care where you've been, I don't care who they are. Don't care if I have to deal with all of your scars. I've got more than it might seem. I wanna be in your dreams. I wanna be in your dreams. Maybe one day you'll settle down when it doesn't cramp your style. You get your fill of being with bad boys and running wild. But I've seen it over and over again, baby doll, somewhere down the road. You might be wishing that you had that real thing that you're letting go. I'm running down the road with the full moon glowing. I don't know where you are or where I'm going, but the light in the distance could be shining on you. My hopes all float or get crushed by the truth, whatever it means. I wanna be in your dreams. I wanna be in your dreams. I may go the distance, you may go your way. Much of life is what you're dealt, but it's mostly how you play. Living life in the fast lane, you'd be surprised what gets bought and sold. You push the wrong button, you wind up with nothing. You might even lose a heart of gold. I'm running down the road with the full moon glowing. I don't know where you are or where I'm going, but the light in the distance could be shining on you. My hopes all float or get crushed by the truth, whatever it means. I wanna be in your dreams, whatever it means. I wanna be in your dreams.
Wow. Oh, man. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, Keith Urban would be honored to sing one of your songs, dude. I tell you what.
That's what I'm working for.
Well, yeah, but you know what, Richie? I mean, again, true musicianship, to be able to go into a studio. I love doing live stuff, right on the spot.
Right.
And, it only takes 30 years to be able to do that sometimes.
Right.
But I tell you what, Richie, really, man, just an incredible songwriter. Musician, singer, performer, connector. I love how you're doing your guitar. You're bending your guitar to get that much. Yeah, And again, would you please do an acoustic album, just you and a guitar, in a studio?
Yeah.
I think some people would want to buy that. I think some people would want to fund that, even though that's one of the best things too. Is people get behind you, they believe in you, they love you, and whatever cause you get behind, you can sell your CDs in advance because people want to hear you. And I love to hear you. As a matter of fact, I'd like to have a Richie Owens song on every Man Show, personally. But again, go to the SaturdayManShow.com. SaturdayManShow.com. I want you to be able to connect with Richie Owens. Find out where he's playing. Get his music. Get your hands on that. I'm pushing him on the air right now.
Thank you, Brandon.
For a live, just unplugged, just you. And you got a great band, too. You choose good musicians, and that's exciting, too. They can see pictures of those musicians along with you on Facebook, and you keep your Facebook up well, too. So,
well,
yeah. Now, I tell you what, though, would you mind giving a phone number for those who want to book you at their next venue?
Sure. 615-815-0145.
615-815-0145. 0145 coming at you with Richie Owens. Well, Richie, I tell you what, I'm looking forward to great things for you in 2015. Again, please come out and hear Richie and Vintage Worship January 16th, Friday night, 7 p.m. at Bethel Christian School, a good alternative for godly teaching and pro-family, pro-America. Good alternative in addition to the great schools we have around here. We want you to come out. We're raising money for a family that's lost a loved one due to cancer, and just coming together.
Yes.
We stand together. The Saturday Man Show is all about pro-America, pro-family, pro-faith, pro-rights. You touch the heart of a man, you touch the nation. Strong man makes strong families, strong communities, strong towns, strong state, strong country. And that's what we're getting back to. A fatherless nation can become a nation of fathers once again. And it starts in the heart of men. You know, we have lots of women that listen to our show. We have women that love the materials that we put out on SaturdayManShow.com. Be sure and go there. And Richie Owens, such a pleasure. Honor to have you on the show. Going to have you back a lot, man. And
Awesome.
what I love these live unplugged performances from a true musician, songwriter, singer, and just an awesome man, Richie Owens. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you, Brent.
And we're going to close out the show with another great song. We'll talk to you next Saturday on the Saturday Man Show.
Gonna talk about God, say the Pledge of Allegiance. Find me a soldier, shake his hand. Gonna clean my gun and teach my children, the men and wives, between a woman and a man. I'm gonna pray at your graduation. I'm gonna say, Jesus, all I can. You will find me sitting with my kin, the good book in my hand, American outlaw, that's what I am. Yeah! Gonna fly my flag, never take it down. Say Merry Christmas when it comes around. If I see some wrong, I'm gonna speak my mind. And if that makes me an outlaw, well, that's just fine, yeah. I'm gonna pray at your graduation. I'm gonna say, Jesus, all I can. You can label me a rebel just because I made my stand. American outlaw, that's what I am, yeah. When we talk about God, say the Pledge of Allegiance. Find me a soldier, shake his hand. Gonna shoot my gun and teach my children, the man and wife, between a woman and a man. I'm gonna pray at your graduation. I'm gonna say, Jesus, all I can. You can label me a rebel just because I make my stand. American outlaw, that's what I am. You can pull my rifle from my cold dead hand. American outlaw, that's what I am.